This video will show you how to access your test room so that you may be able to submit your assessments and review the coaching reports or feedback given in each of the tasks. Now, as I mentioned in the previous email or video, I mentioned that you would be, as you navigate through your course study and preparing to write your assessments, it's going to tell you when you've completed all of the assessments and you're ready to work on your task. You can access Taskstream through your course of study, or as I mentioned, you will be receiving an email from Taskstream and you're going to be provided a login information. When you log into your Taskstream, you can go to My Account and be able to change your login information to reflect the same login information you have for your WGU. That way you only have one username and one password to remember, and you can do that in My Account. And again, in the next couple of days, you'll be receiving that email from Taskstream. When you log in into Taskstream, you're only going to see two courses to start with, LPT and LWT. As you add more courses into your degree plan and you're working throughout the program, you're going to see some of the other courses you're going to be working on. But for now, we're going to go ahead and open up LPT. Now, there's a lot of information in Taskstream. However, all I'm going to do at this point is show you how to access and how to submit your work and how to access your coaching reports. If you recall from the presentation in your degree plan, all of your assessments are noted in your degree plan as to which assessment you're going to be working on. Remember that you also can access your assessments if you click on Assessments at the top of your course of study and just click Preview, and it's going to take you to exactly the same assessments you will find in Taskstream. Just click on Performance Criteria, and you will find all of the assessments. And just click on Directions to give you the actual tasks you need to work on. But we're going to use Taskstream to go through this so I can show you how to submit your work. So we're going to go ahead and click on the very first task, which is going to be environmental scanning. Now, in the task itself, it's going to give you an introduction and some directions on how to get you prepared for the assessment. In all of your assessments, you're going to have to interview an administrator, whether it's a principal, assistant principal. I encourage you to also visit other administrators within your district. If you're able to go outside of your district, certainly do that. Throughout this presentation, I'm also going to give you some suggestions so that you're able to accelerate through your assessments. But again, one of my recommendations at this point is to visit with as many administrators as you're able to so that you can do networking. So it's going to tell you to write an essay. It's going to give you a number of pages. Do not be so concerned about the number of pages. Make sure that you've addressed all of the topics in your task. As I mentioned before, in your degree plan, you also have a rubric. Each of the tasks has a rubric. So if you click on the rubric, it's going to tell you the criteria you need to do to ensure that you've addressed all the information necessary to pass your assessment. Now, in the email that I sent to you, I provide you with a template of the very first task. Now, this template, it's an APA style. My recommendation is that you follow this template. Obviously, you're going to change all the information to reflect your personal information, but you want to use this template because it's already set up for you in APA. All of your papers need to be in APA style, whether your sources, whether you're writing your references or in-text citations, your paper needs to be set up in APA style. In the email that I sent to you, I also provided you with some attachments, and I will go over those because I'm going to show you some of the attachments that give you some ideas on editing your paper and ensuring that they're in APA. But one of the things that I wanted to show you is As you navigate through your paper or set up your paper, you want to make sure that your headings reflect the different topics you need to address. So in this case, the topics you need to write about are, for example, identifying two types of delivery mechanisms, or evaluate your education institution major facilities, or to reflect and provide insights on various aspects. Let them be your main headings. So as you're writing your paper, you know that you're addressing those particular topics and providing enough information to ensure that you meet the criteria for this particular assessment. At the end of your paper, you want to write your conclusions, and then you want to create a reference list. Make sure that your reference list is in APA style. Again, keep in mind that anything that you reference in your list, you want to make sure that you have an in-text citation. So in this case, I reference write on yours. Make sure that you write in-text citations for these references. So now you're ready to submit your paper. You've written your paper and you're ready to submit it. What you will do is go to Attachments. You click on Attachments at the bottom of the page. Then you'll upload your paper, and under Name File, you're going to type four things. One, the course code, in this case LPT, the course number, I should say the test number, which you will find at the top of this page, your name, and the date. So four things. The course code, in this particular case being LPT, the test number, your name, and the date that you submit your document. Once you've done that, you'll click Add File, then Save and Return. Once you click Save and Return, another box will appear that says Submit. Go ahead and click on Submit. Your paper then will go to be evaluated. It normally takes 3 to 5 days for it to be evaluated. Then you'll get it back. You'll get an email letting you know that you've passed your assessment. If you did not pass the assessment, it's going to give you a link to go to the coaching report. You can access the coaching report through that email that you've received, or you can go to Scores and Results in the right-hand side of your screen, click on Scores and Results, and under Results, you will be able to click so you can access the coaching report, and it's going to tell you exactly which section of your paper needs to be revised. So you don't have to revise the entire paper. In the coaching report, it's going to tell you which section within your paper needs more information to ensure that you meet the criteria. So once you have written down the additional information that the evaluator is asking you to do, you will be able then to resubmit. And under Status, you will see a button that says Resubmit. You'll click on it and you'll be able to resubmit your paper. Under Actions, as you can see, you'll be able to edit your work. So you'll be able to retrieve your paper, make the modifications that the coaching report has asked you to do, and then you'll be able to resubmit. The very first time that you submit your paper, you're going to get an originality report. In this report, it'll tell you how original your document is. Now, if you're using other sources and you're making a high use of other resources without providing credit for them, it's going to tell you. It's going to give you a percentage. As long as you're in the green range, below 15%, then you're okay. But again, whatever resource you use, whether it's any websites or any journals or your readings in your books, you want to make sure that you reference them. And so if it's in yellow or red, that means you have a high percentage of resources that you're just basically copying and pasting, and you want to make sure that you paraphrase that information and that you want to make sure that you provide a reference to that sources. So that's how you are able to then check the coaching report, modify your work, and then resubmit your work. Once again, it'll go to resubmit. Once you resubmit it, it'll go back to evaluation. And once again, it may take 3 to 5 days for you to get feedback on that paper. If it passes, then you move forward. However, as you're waiting for the paper to come back, you can continue moving forward in your readings or writing your next assessment. Now, as I mentioned before, most of your papers you're going to be interviewing an administrator. So if I may provide a couple of recommendations or suggestions, so again, you can continue accelerating through your assessments. The first recommendation, or the next recommendation, is for you to email your task to your administrator. This way, if they're providing you with half an hour or an hour of their time, they will already know what to expect in your questions. So email them the questions ahead of time. Whether you're doing one assessment or two, you can email them 3 assessments if you wish. That way, when you go and visit with them, you'll have enough information to be able to write 2 or 3 different assessments because of that one interview. Now, another recommendation that I would like to give is for you to take a tape recorder with you. If you take a tape recorder with you, you will be able to have a dialogue with your administrator. Instead of you having to take notes, you'll be able to listen to the information they're providing to you, and if you need clarification or need additional information, you'll be able to ask them, and knowing that your tape recorder is recording all this information for you, so that when you go home, now not only do you have an assessment completed, but you may have 2 or 3 different assessments completed with um, good information because of the interview you've had with your administrator. So this is how you're able to submit your work into Taskstream, and this is where you'll find the tasks or assessments, and this is the only place in Taskstream where you'll be able to submit your work. There is a lot of other information in Taskstream, which I'm not going to go through. However, between now and the first of the month, if you would like to navigate through Taskstream, certainly feel free to do so. Again, if you have any questions, please do not hesitate in calling me, texting me, or email me so that I can provide you assistance. Thank you.